The new MacBook Pro is an absolute powerhouse. This is a great year to upgrade your MacBook if you have been holding off. Before this, I was actually using the Intel MacBook Pro, hence it was a much needed upgrade for me. And honestly, it's probably one of the most impressive laptops in the market right now. And you'll be surprised to see how much power the M4 Pro chip packs inside. So let's dive in and see if the M4 Pro MacBook Pro is the right choice for you. My name is Prithviraj and I create videos on productivity, tech and life. Before we dive in, here are the specs that I decided to go for. I was looking for the sweet spot in the new MacBook lineup, and for me this one just fits right in. I'm using the 14-inch variant, as from my past experience it excels in portability the most. If you carry it around a lot like in coffee shop or in an airplane, you'll definitely prefer the 14-inch size over the 16-inch one. I've been using this for a week now, and let me give you a brief about what I have been using my M4 Pro MacBook Pro for. I've been editing 4K videos on DaVinci Resolve, creating thumbnails on Adobe Photoshop, editing photos on Lumina Neo. Also I've been producing music here using FL Studio. These are what my MacBook has to go through, but before we talk about the performance, let's start by talking about the display, as I absolutely love it. It features a 14-inch Liquid Retina XDR display. There is also an add-on that you can get as far as the display is concerned. You can opt for the nano texture display, which is basically a matte texture display. It will help you get rid of any reflections on your screen, but the thing is that you will have to pay an extra of $150 or 15,000 rupees for that, and I didn't really mind the glossy display, hence I decided to not go for the nano texture one. But if all those light reflections really bother you, then yeah, you can surely get that upgrade. The colors over here are crisp and vibrant. I really love the display on this device. Also, it is a ProMotion display with a refresh rate up to 120Hz. The brightness of the new MacBook is also insane. It has 1000 nits of brightness. This is really amazing for outdoor usage, if you're at a coffee shop or something like that. Earlier, I was using apps like Vivid to increase the brightness of my MacBook, but that definitely took a toll in the overall battery health. But thankfully now, that won't be a big issue anymore. Also, we get two color options, silver and space black. If you have been following my channel for a while, then you probably know how much I love black. Hence, the color was a no-bummer for me. Apple's silicon game just keeps getting better. I got the M4 Pro variant. This one is like the sweet midpoint. It's ideal if you want a bit more power over the M4 chip, but not that much like the M4 Max chipset. The M4 Pro has a 12-core CPU and a 16-core GPU. I'm using the 24GB RAM variant, or unified memory as Apple likes to call it, and also 512GB of SSD. One of the most exciting thing is that they now have Thunderbolt 5 for speed transfers up to 120GB per second, but this is only on the M4 Pro and the M4 Max model. That was another reason for me to get the M4 Pro variant over the M4, as I often edit my videos directly from external drives, and this speed boost will definitely come in handy. I'm happy that Apple has finally gotten over its dongle phase. This was much needed. We have a total of 3 Thunderbolt ports, 1 SD card slot, a headphone jack, thankfully, the MagSafe for charging, and lastly an HDMI port. Good thing Apple decided to keep the HDMI port, as I know many people who use their MacBooks as a fully fledged desktop by hooking it up to an external monitor. And here's a bold statement by Apple. Apple claims up to 22 hours of battery life, and from what I have seen so far, that's not far away from the truth. Obviously, if you're editing videos or doing other processor intensive tasks, then it won't be lasting that long, but with basic usage like managing your tasks, browsing your web and checking emails, the battery life is absolutely wild. But do you know what my favorite part of the new MacBooks are? And that is their keyboard. Coming from the Intel MacBook, I really love the keyboard here in the MacBook Pro M4. It feels clicky and smooth, and it's giving me a sensation that I'm typing really fast. Just for an experiment, I tried typing the same paragraph on my iMac M3 with the Magic Keyboard as well as on my MacBook Pro. My typing speed was simply much more faster here, I have to say, and the overall experience was much more comfortable. And so is the trackpad. MacBooks have always featured great trackpads, and this one is no exception to that. The force touch here is still amazing. Alright, let's talk about the software improvements now. It comes with macOS Sequoia out of the box, and there is one neat little feature that I really love, and that is iPhone mirroring. If you're running on iOS 18.1 on your iPhone, then you can take advantage of this feature. This thing will help you take control of your iPhone from your MacBook. You can keep your iPhone on some other room and still access it from here. Can be beneficial if you're trying to reduce the screen time on your iPhone from doom scrolling TikTok. Also, this can be helpful if you wanted to use apps that are not natively available on the Mac. For example, Google Pay, banking apps and stuff like that. Or simply you wanted to reply to your Insta DMs on your Mac. You can do that as well. And also, I love the fact that you can simply drag and drop files from your iPhone to your Mac and vice versa. This has to be a real game changer. And also, you have all those Apple Intelligence stuff like enhanced Siri, notification summary and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely check out iPhone mirroring. It's gonna be super useful. The FaceTime camera has also been upgraded. It's now a 12 megapixel center stage camera. Hence the quality is gonna be comparatively better than the previous generation. And because of the center stage, it will track you to make sure you're actually in the center of your frame. Also, you get an option to turn it off in case you don't want that. One thing I noticed a few days back is that you can convert currencies right inside the calculator app. This is coming in super handy for me because I often have to convert US dollars into Indian rupees noise all the time. Subtle addition, but a really helpful one. Also, we are very close to hitting 100k subs on this channel. I would really appreciate if you could consider hitting that subscribe button. Would definitely help me out a lot. Alright, now let's talk about the performance of the M4 Pro MacBook Pro. I ran the benchmarks on Geekbench and also tested out the disk speed, and as you can see, it performed really well in both. The read-write speeds has been great, although you're gonna get a better write speed on the 1TB variant. It will come down to how much storage you actually need. 512 gigs is actually enough for me, as I mostly have all my videos and all the other content on my Samsung T9 SSD, and with the introduction of Thunderbolt 5, we can expect a transfer speed of 80 to 120 gigs per second. This is a huge step forward over the Thunderbolt 4, which had a transfer speed of 40 gigs per second. This was a much needed change for people like me. But if you're a developer and you need to run those simulators and stuff like that, then the storage can fill up rather quickly, so you should keep that in mind. For the most parts, I have been editing a lot of videos on DaVinci Resolve for the past 1 week. I generally do all my video editing stuff on my iMac M3 because I kinda prefer the desktop-like work setup. But switching from that and editing here on the M4 Pro, this definitely feels a lot smoother, especially while using resource-heavy plugins like denoiser and stuff like that. My iMac M3 often struggles when I enable plugins like denoiser on my videos, but it wasn't an issue over here. I didn't face any major lags due to denoiser as of now, and it also renders my videos around 10 to 15% faster than the M3 chipset. Thanks to its high-performance GPU cores and ProRes acceleration, editing 4K or even 8K videos is smooth as butter. Even while working with heavy-duty formats like ProRes RAW or H265, this machine doesn't break a sweat. Because of this, the photo editing experience on this device was again great, using apps like Lumina Neo and Adobe Lightroom. I've been creating the thumbnails of my past few videos on this device, and I really like the experience, especially coming from the iMac M3, as it has a display refresh rate of 60Hz. I instantly noticed the smoothness of the ProMotion display. I also have been producing some music on this device, though not that extensively, as I only have a selected library of plugins on this device. As you know, all these audio plugins eats up a lot of storage. Hence, I mostly finish all my projects on my Windows PC, as I have my entire library of heavy-duty plugins over there. But for the most parts, if you are looking for a laptop primarily for music production, then you won't be facing any issues on this device. You can finish your fully fledged projects on your favorite DAW and it will handle it perfectly. But the thing is that you can do some gaming on this device as well. I frankly didn't test any games over here because I prefer keeping my work setup and my gaming setup separate, but I have seen many posts featuring the app called Mythic. This basically allows you to play Windows games on your MacBook. The M4 chipset is stupidly fast, so it will be able to handle that quite nicely. I'll actually be giving this a try and will be giving this update on a YouTube short of mine, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Apple Silicon is built to last, and the M4 Pro chip is no exception. Even 5 years down the line, this laptop will still be a beast. The macOS updates will keep rolling over the years, but the hardware is powerful enough to handle whatever comes next. So yeah, this is definitely an investment, but it's something that will pay off in the long run. You're not just buying a laptop, you're buying a peace of mind, to be very honest. So here are my final thoughts. The MacBook Pro M4 Pro is a no-brainer for anyone looking for a top-tier laptop in 2024. Whether you're a creative or a student, or someone who just wants the best, this thing delivers on every front. However, if you have the M2 Pro or the M3 Pro, then you might want to consider waiting, as it's not a huge leap over that. But if you're someone like me coming from the Intel MacBook or some old Windows laptop, then this one is definitely worth the upgrade. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And speaking of Windows, if gaming is actually in your top priority, then you should check out the Asus ROG Ally. This thing is a handheld beast. Click here on this video, and over there we have discussed about the Asus ROG Ally in more details. See you there.